Well, spring and summer are always a hot time for the housing market.
And they sure are, but as we know, things have been on fire here at home for a while now. Demand is high, supply is low, triggering bidding wars and people scrambling to find homes. Meg Shaw here with some tips for buyers and sellers navigating this market right now. Meg?
Yeah, let's be real here. The housing market is nuts right now. It is a fantastic time to be a seller, but if you're a buyer, it's kind of like playing musical chairs.
Right now, home sale prices in Ohio are up more than $20,000 compared to this same time last year.
I've been in real estate for over 10 years, and I definitely haven't seen a market like this.
There's not enough supply, and some worry these bidding wars could lead to another crash like we saw in 2008. But realtors say it's not likely because lenders are more strict with credit qualifications.
Back in 2008, 2009, when there was just a lot of kind of predatory lending and people were getting into loans that they weren't really suited for, we're not seeing that today.
Despite the competition, experts say now is still a good time to buy a home, and they predict an uptick in supply in the coming months.
Still a really good time to buy. It's still a really good time to buy because rates are so low. That impact on your payments and how much you can save, it will be huge long term. And if you aren't planning to move right now, refinancing is a good way to go as well.
One family tells us having a team of realtors who has access to up-to-the-minute data on the market is helping them.
In all honesty, patience is key. It is crazy right now, but like I said, keep the faith and definitely stay patient.
But don't get your hopes up too high for one particular house, and be flexible about where you're willing to live.
It's definitely made us reconsider too a little bit about what's most important, what we can compromise on, things like that.
Now, if you can afford it, agree to a buyer's concession, such as an as-is sale. You can also use an escalation clause to help in a bidding war. And lastly, if you have the money, you could waive the appraisal.
It might take 2, 3, 4 times putting in an offer before you get one accepted.
All right, so as we've said, it's a great time to be a seller, to make money. But remember, if you're selling your home, unless you're moving into a rental, you're going to be on the flip side of that. So you really have to account for that time where you're getting into buying another home. Katie?
Yeah, you really do worry about a lot of those first-time home buyers, though, especially getting priced out of the market, trying to look for a home right now. All right, so Meg, are we seeing a similar trend, though, when it comes to the rental market here?
Yeah, so a new monthly report just came out from Realtor.com, and it does show that rent really is coming back after a year of kind of seeing drop-offs, especially here in Cleveland, where a lot of people are having trouble buying a home because of those bidding wars. Now, in March, the average monthly rent nationwide was almost $1,500. The bad news here that I have for you this morning, Cleveland is among the top 10 markets that has the largest rent increase. From last March to this March of this year, rent payments went up almost 9%, pushing the average here in our city to nearly $1,100. But, rent isn't rising everywhere. That's the good news. But unless you plan on moving to San Francisco, Boston, or Seattle, where they're seeing a drop-off in rent prices, you're more likely going to be paying the higher cost here in Cleveland. Katie?
Well, a drop-off in rent prices there is still ridiculous compared to here, I'm sure, Meg. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate those updates.